much of the counterculture, particularly in America, less so in Britain, much of the counterculture is not the counterculture anymore. It's the culture.
Because Donald Trump has won the election.
Because Donald Trump's won the election. The podcasters have won. Joe has probably more influence on public debate than the Washington Post these days. And that's great. I love it. I love the guy. But there comes a point, to quote Spider-Man, I think, where with great power comes great responsibility. And when you get the power of actually getting the megaphone in the public space, you should exercise your use of it judiciously. And it seems to me that exercising it by inviting people on who have invented views of history, have claims about things in the present they have simply not seen or reported from or been to or done anything about, best use of it. And before you know it, everyone ends up just endlessly speculating and riffing on things they just don't know about. And I if people want to think it's elitist to believe in expertise, and fine.
Okay, disclaimer: we're not experts in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but we're pretty good. So I think so by Douglas Murray's logic here, I think the captain and we could comment on this topic. Yes. First of all, he's wrong. It wasn't Spider-Man who said that. It was Uncle Ben who said, "With great power comes great responsibility." So he's wrong there. Number two, I'd argue Douglas Murray's logic right back to him. Douglas Murray, if you know anything about his history, has been a chief proponent of almost every single war that we have been involved in the past 30 years, including the war in Iraq, pushing the lie of weapons of mass destruction, and a lot of the terror wars. He's been writing columns for the New York Post and elsewhere throughout all these years. He's been around a long time, pushing the wars, always siding with the war.
He's a war hawk.
He was in Ukraine. Dave Smith made this point. He was like, I've been to Ukraine, Douglas Murray, and I've seen them on the ground. He's like, yeah, and while you were there, you were saying that they're going to win the war, and then that's why we should keep backing Ukraine. So you weren't even right. But then you're here claiming to be an expert. But I'll make the point, well, Douglas Murray, a lot of people listen to you. You're here cheerleading every war, advocating we get into them all. People die in these wars. Was there no responsibility on your end, by your own logic, that you advocated for them? They were built upon lies, and then people actually died in them? So, like, that logic doesn't apply back to you. But instead, you're applying that standard, that logic to Joe Rogan, who's never advocated for a war or done any or had any sort of anything.
All he's advocated for is the truth.
That has amounted